I took the job at the old post office in Millbrook, half out of necessity, half out of nostalgia. The small town's beating heart, its quiet pulse, echoed through the brass mailboxes and creaky wooden floors. My shift started at 6 in the evening and ran until the early hours of the morning, perfect for someone like me who found comfort in solitude. As the town wound down, I took solace in the rhythmic drone of sorting mail, the soft thud of envelopes stacking neatly in their slots. That particular evening was no different, or so I thought. The sky had settled into a deep indigo as I locked the front door, the heavy click of the latch resonating through the empty room. The fluorescent lights flickered to life with a dull hum, casting a sterile glow over the rows of mailboxes. I breathed in the musty scent of paper and ink, letting it ground me in the familiar routine. As I sorted through the pile of letters, I came across an envelope unlike the others. It was an ancient-looking thing, yellowed around the edges, with a wax seal that bore an unfamiliar emblem, a serpent coiled around a crescent moon. I hesitated for a moment, my fingers tracing the intricate design. It felt oddly heavy, as though it carried the weight of forgotten histories. Curiosity won over caution, and I placed the envelope on the counter, making a mental note to investigate further after finishing my rounds. The rest of the sorting passed uneventfully, though a strange unease prickled at the back of my mind, like an itch I couldn't quite reach. When the last of the letters had found their homes, I returned to the envelope. Its presence seemed to fill the room, demanding attention. I broke the seal, the wax cracking under my thumb, and unfolded the parchment within. The writing was spidery, almost illegible, but as I squinted in the dim light, the words began to take shape. "To the keeper of silence," it began, "heed the whispers of time and shadow." A shiver traced my spine as I read on, the words weaving a tale of a guardian spirit bound to the town, a presence that watched over the sleeping streets. It spoke of a pact made long ago, a binding contract to protect the town from an ancient evil lurking beyond the borders of the known world. As the clock ticked towards midnight, the weight of the letter settled heavily on my shoulders. I glanced around the room, half expecting to see a spectral figure lurking in the shadows, but the post office remained stubbornly empty. Yet, the air felt different, charged with an energy I couldn't quite place. I shook my head, trying to dispel the creeping unease. It was just an old letter, I told myself, a relic of bygone days. But as I turned to lock up for the night, a sound stopped me in my tracks. A faint rustling like the whisper of fabric against stone. It came from the far corner of the room, where the shadows pooled deepest. "Hello?" I called out, my voice barely breaking the silence. No answer came, only the soft sigh of the wind through the eaves. My heart thudded heavily in my chest as I edged closer, the darkness seeming to thicken with each step. There, nestled between the mailboxes, was a figure, a man, or what had once been a man. His eyes were hollow, empty sockets that stared unseeingly into the void. I stumbled back, my breath catching in my throat. The figure didn't move, didn't acknowledge my presence in any way, yet I felt its gaze, felt it probe the depths of my soul. The letter lay forgotten on the counter, its words echoing in my mind. "To the keeper of silence." Was that me? Had opening the letter somehow awakened this presence, called it forth from whatever realm it had been banished to? A chill swept through the room, and I knew instinctively that I was not alone, that I would never be alone again. I turned, fleeing the post office, the door slamming shut behind me with a finality that echoed through the night. Outside, the town lay silent, its streets bathed in the cold light of the moon. I ran, my footsteps echoing off the cobblestones, but the feeling of being watched never left me. In the days that followed, I tried to resume my routine, but the post office felt different, tainted by the presence I had unwittingly unleashed. The figure appeared nightly, always in the corner, always watching. I could feel its gaze even when I closed my eyes, a constant reminder of the pact I had broken. I tried to ignore it, to convince myself it was all a figment of my imagination, but deep down, I knew the truth. The letter had been a warning, a plea left unanswered for too long. And now, the guardian spirit had been replaced by something far more sinister. The townsfolk noticed my change, whispered about the shadow that seemed to cling to me wherever I went. I became a recluse, haunted by the specter I had summoned, unable to escape the chain of events I had set in motion. As I sit here now in the dim light of the post office, I can hear the whispers, soft, insistent, weaving through the air like a dark lullaby. The figure watches, its presence a constant weight on my soul. I know it waits for the right moment, the perfect time to claim what is owed. And so, I continue my vigil, trapped in this silent dance with a ghost of my own making, knowing that the moment I let my guard down will be my last. The post office is my prison, the letter my curse, and the shadows my eternal companions. In the end, the silence is all that remains, a testament to the forgotten promises and the chilling presence that lingers in the dark corners of Millbrook. The keeper of silence, bound forever to an ancient evil, with no hope of redemption or escape.